Back when I was in school, during the summertime, I would work every Saturday with my dad. It was very difficult, and I know what you are thinking. Sheep, he only worked on Saturday. It couldn't have been that hard. This is very true, but I consider my actual job way easier compared to what my dad does for a living. My dad is a landscaper. He creates fire pits, waterfalls, gardens, sprinklers, and a lot more. So when I went to work with him, we would always be doing something different. And you know, I like when things are different. It makes your job more entertaining, but I hated my dad's job. My dad does a lot of heavy lifting, like lifting huge rocks, digging up holes for sprinklers, working in the heat, rolling huge rolls of grass, which is a thing, you know. Rolled up grass. If your lawn is yellow and patchy and crusty, you can order a new set of grass. Is it a pain to roll out? Yes. Will you have a new set of grass though? Yes. My friend would join me because we were both broke middle schoolers, and by the end of the day we were both flopped on the floor exhausted. But as exhausting as it was working with my dad, it was also very interesting. Our days consisted of my dad figuring out what to make us do because he didn't really trust us to do anything. Come on, Dad. Are we really that unreliable? My dad would have us rake rocks. Literally. I didn't understand it, but we did our best. Our break times were pretty awesome though. After all that time under the heat, we would sit down under a tree and one of my dad's coworkers would bring carnitas and we would eat tacos. On one of our break times, we didn't have tortillas though, which disappointed all of us. So I decided to take the initiative and call my older brother to come bring us tortillas. He answered. He didn't really want to come, but after a few convincing words from me, he told me he would be there within the hour. So we went back to work until my brother arrived, which was like 30 minutes later, so not too long. When he arrived, everyone was so happy, the day was saved. My dad told him to sit down so we can all eat tacos together, but when my brother handed my dad the tortillas, that is when all hell broke loose. The tortillas were cold. Everybody looked at my brother with disappointment and began to bully him. Even my friend joined in on the bullying. These tortillas are cold. Why would you bring cold tortillas? Does it look like we have a stove out here? You suck. My brother shot back defensive remarks. No one told me I had to cook them. Okay, maybe that was my fault. But the thought of cooking them flew right over my head too. After all the chaos, everyone settled down and began eating tacos despite the tortillas that were crumbling. They were all still shooting daggers at my older brother. After our break, my brother left. He was a bit salty himself after being berated, but we began to replace this client's grass with new grass. It was a grass glow-up, from yellow patch grass to green fresh grass. Unfortunately, me and my friend were on our periods, so it was especially hard for us to roll the grass. The rolls of grass were so heavy, lifting these rolls of grass were becoming very painful with our cramps and the heat and all. It felt like we were melting. It didn't help that this client had a huge yard. We tried different methods of setting the grass down. Kicking it to its destination, holding it like a pillow, unrolling it and dragging it. But in the end, we both settled with helping out each other to make it easier. My dad and his coworkers were rolling the grass like it was a Fruit Loop. It was a measly grab and grow and yeet. They made fun of us for not being able to grab the rolls of grass by ourselves. But they don't understand the struggle. By the end of it, we were both a mess. There was dirt in our hair, dirt all over our clothes and our faces. My dad, he just let us go home after seeing that. We nearly passed out. My mom would have me take a shower as soon as I got home because I was covered in dirt and I was dragging it through the house. My sister says the messiest worker is the worst worker, and that doesn't offend me.